Hi, everybody. Today I have with me Deb Dana, who is one of my favorite people on the planet, as you know. She does polyvagal informed therapy. She works closely with Dr. Stephen Porges, who's does all the research on the polyvagal theory and also helps us find our way back to social engagement and ventral vagal connection, and really lays the foundation for how we help ourselves and our clients come to a sense of physiological safety and also connection with ourselves as well as connections with others. And I know right now it's a really stressful time. A lot of us are isolated. A lot of us are dealing with the scariness of the coronavirus because it's new. We haven't ever experienced a pandemic in our lifetime. And the last one happened, I think, over 100 years ago. And how the heck do we help ourselves feel safe and connected, as well as really support our clients to find that when they're understandably feeling fear and anxiety or sadness or grief or struggling with maybe having the illness or having someone close to them that they love having the illness, how do we help people in a time with this much stress that would, understandably take us to areas of threat response and dysregulation in our nervous system. So Deb's here to share some insights, and we'd love to just share that with you. So thank you, Deborah, for being here. Welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah, it is a fascinating time, terrifying in some ways and very challenging. We have the challenges and then the changes that happen all the time, which makes it difficult for the nervous system to keep up. And I think what we find is we fall into our own personal habitual response patterns. And so if you're more, if you lean more towards sympathetic fight flight, you find yourself there more. If you lean more towards dorsal disconnect, collapse, you may find yourself there. But the nervous system is really being challenged. And my guess from talking to colleagues and hearing about clients is that the nervous system is going through both of those states. So, in this time of great challenge, the nervous system is going to find its way both to sympathetic and dorsal. And for some people, one of those is going to be an unfamiliar response, a place they don't go often. My system leans more towards dorsal. So for me, a sympathetic response is unfamiliar. My dorsal is much more familiar. I have a friend who's exactly the opposite. And so one of the things we do is we, talk to each other about where is your nervous system right now? And in unfamiliar place, how can I help support you? And I think the other thing that I'm finding, talking to colleagues and clients, is that there's so much coming out nowadays about what to do to manage social isolation or social distancing. And I want people to really remember that everybody's nervous system is shaped in its own way. We have these general responses. We all need social connection, but we all need it in different ways and in different amounts. And so my suggestion to people has been to, ask the question, what would nourish my nervous system in this moment? And then you might go through many of the suggestions that have been sent, and you might find one that fits for you in this moment. And there might be 4 others that your nervous system says, oh, I don't want to do that. Right. And so really for me, in the nervous system way, it's a question of communicating with your nervous system and not your brain, because the brain can make a decision and say, oh, I should do these 3 things because I just got that from, an internet site that I trust. But your nervous system may be saying, oh, that feels too much. Right. So to take in the information and then check with your nervous system and say, is this breath practice what I want to do now? Does that feel nourishing? Or is reaching out to Zoom right now or having a virtual tea party with somebody? There are amazing suggestions that are coming out, and I'm sure that you have people who just have so creatively put things out into the world, and so much needed and so much appreciated. And I think the thing that I would invite all of us to do is to do the thing that helps us come to ventral, right? That's
to really check in, learn our own autonomic story and pathway and what we're ready for. Like maybe we're ready to talk to people at night, or maybe night we just need to shift into rest and we're only really available to connect in the morning. I mean, and to trust that, to honor that, that's right for you.
Yes, and that's the great word, to honor that, to not feel bad because I don't want to join the virtual book group, but to honor that my system is saying not today, not now, right? So, and I'll share this little vignette about my own life. Was feeling um, sort of, in this social distancing thing. And I had just come back from Europe. So I'm in a 2-week self-isolation, self-quarantine anyway. And we just got out of that. And we went to the Animal Welfare Society and brought home Buddy, who is this
Aw.
sweet 3-year-old little black cat who is absolutely the sweetest little thing. So my husband Bob and I now have another mammal here with us. We have Buddy. And it was this moment. We have not had a pet for, I think we decided it was 13 years, but it was this moment that it just felt right. And both of our nervous systems said yes. And here came Buddy. So, and that was surprising to both of us. But, so to be open to the surprises too, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So is there anything you think that therapists could do to support clients at this time?
Yeah, and I think the piece that we can offer is we can offer that ongoing sense of connection. So if we are able to find a way that our client would like to have that connection, whether it's sending a text or sending an email or simply sending an emoji. I have clients who want all sorts of different things, just to know that out there in the world is their therapist who is holding that energetic connection, because we're not going to be seeing each other in an office for a long time. And the virtual connection is lovely. It's much better than no connection. But I think to really resource the between session contact in a way that a client's nervous system can take it in is an important piece of the work right now. And it may feel like a burden to a therapist. So again, a therapist has to decide, what can I realistically offer? And
Right.
It might be that I could say I could send one text to each client once between sessions. You really have to know what is realistic for your own nervous system.
Right, because therapists are under stress too. They may have sick family members. They might be the sole caregiver for many people. I mean, there's all sorts of circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to decide that for yourself, and then collaborate with the client and say what would feel right for your system. For some clients, a simple sending an emoji is plenty. I have a client for whom that's true. It's like, just send emoji. Great, I can do that. It's kind of fun to do that, actually.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We're just trying to stay connected by sending little daily uplifts, just little inspirational things, or just information, or just a possibility for an intervention, just something that could be a way for us to stay connected with our tribe. I think it's really important, the staying connected again and participating that in a way that feels right for each person.
Yeah. Just knowing that you have your tribe out there is important. And then how you receive the tribe's energy is individual to each of us. But knowing that your tribe is there is really important. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom. And I appreciate all the things, your teaching in general is about connection and safety. So this is a time that everybody that's already studied with you is benefiting from, and people that are learning from you now, it's a real gift. So thank you for being out there. And also thanks Stephen Porges, and I thank Peter Levine. They've been major mentors and influencers for me as well, and have helped me so much to hopefully be a little bit helpful to other people. So I'm deeply grateful to all of them. I think actually practicing a little gratitude is a good idea as well, because as difficult as this time is, which it definitely is, and it's unprecedented, difficult and challenging, and we have all sorts of natural, understandable reactions that are just something we're all trying to cope with. It is a time to appreciate what we do have and what's good in our lives too.
And I think as you said that, it reminded me to also appreciate the way your nervous system has mounted a survival response when it does it, right? To honor that something happened that was a cue of danger that came in, and to turn towards your system, if you can, with some ventral vagal compassion, right? Yeah.
Right. And just a reminder, ventral vagal involves being connected to ourselves, being present, being wanting to connect with others, whatever way feels appropriate, and when that feels appropriate, and how. And then also humor
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you know, there are some fun
Mhm.
things going around that we can connect to, or
Yes.
maybe watch on Netflix or whatever, or have
Mhm.
FaceTime chats with people. And humor
Yes.
is life-saving as well. Is there
Yes,
anything
it
else
is.
that you would say that the ventral contributes for us?
You know, nature, art, and music are pretty predictably activating of ventral energy, and we do have access to those. You know, still, right? Art online, music through you know, devices, and nature, even if it's, you know, online, even if it's looking at nature scenes,
Or your
the
own
research.
backyard, if that's the only
Yes, out your back
space you're
window,
allowed to.
whatever it
Right.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, when people aren't present in the ways we, you know, really have relied on or needed, nature, art, music. So, yeah, yeah.
Nature, art, and music. Beautiful.
Mm,
I know there are even bands performing in their pajamas online, so it's kind of a interesting creative time. And
yes.
so see if you can take advantage of this, help your clients connect to some things that help them find their pathway back to ventral, as Deb
Mm,
so
yeah.
wonderfully tells us to, guides us to do. So thank you for being a pathfinder,
Mm,
and for some words of wisdom here. So
mm,
thank everybody who's joining us. Thanks
thank
for joining
you.
us, and take care of yourself. Be safe, stay
Mm,
well, check how your autonomic nervous system is doing, and
mhm.
follow what feels right for you. Thank you.